So we're back here again. So far in 2025, Boca Juniors have been incredibly disappointing. We were eliminated in the preliminary stages of the Copa Libertadores against Alianza Lima, a team from Peru, one of the weakest leagues in South America, and a team that had previously held the record for the most games without a win in the Libertadores. We then went ahead and played a 5 at the back formation against River Plate at the Estadio Monumental, showed a horrible performance which ended up losing us the game against our biggest rivals. That got our manager Fernando Gago sacked, and afterwards in the playoffs with an interim manager, we barely scraped by Lanús on penalties, only to lose to Independiente at home in the quarterfinals, without scoring a single goal. But Boca still had one opportunity to redeem themselves: the Club World Cup. Because Boca hadn't won any of the last 4 editions of the Copa Libertadores, this meant that we qualified through the coefficients table in the CONMEBOL rankings. And we didn't really do much to deserve that, considering that we didn't even play in the last Copa Libertadores and that we are missing out on the current edition as well. Either way, Boca managed to get just enough points to qualify for this tournament, where we got seated in a group against Bayern Munich, Benfica and Auckland City. As you know, if you watched my preview, I was keeping my expectations for this tournament very low, which is why I couldn't anticipate what happened in the first game. After not seeing much of the ball for 15 minutes, a long ball from Marchesín found the head of Carlos Palacios. The ball reached Lautaro Blanco on the left, who with a great nutmeg found an assist for Miguel Merentiel to score the opener for Boca, although it was later shown that it was actually an own goal by Otamendi. The Heartbreak stadium exploded, but this was only the beginning. In the 27th minute, after a cross from Kevin Zenon, the ball is headed by Ayrton Costa, who finds Rodrigo Bataglia all alone to make it 2-0 for Boca. Benfica looked stunned, they were rattled, they were missing so many passes in the midfield. Boca were allowed to dominate, and it really seemed like we could kick off this tournament with an amazing win, which would put us so much closer to the run of 16. And that's where the usual Boca thing happened. Right before the end of the first half, Carlos Palacios makes an unnecessary challenge on Otamendi defending a set piece, which gives Benfica a penalty through VAR, which is easily scored by Ángel Di María. But things seem to be going fine still. In the second half, Benfica weren't creating any good chances. Boca was defending pretty well, and we were only helped when Andrea Velotti decided to get himself sent off after making his best Karate Kid impression. It's done then. It's the 83rd minute and we're up a man. We just need to calm down, hold on and...
Close corner and the header is in! Otamendi!
It's every time with this club. It's every time, every single time. After the disappointing 2-2 draw with Benfica, things were not gonna get easier. In fact, they were about to get much worse as our next opponent were German giants Bayern Munich. Still, the spirits were up going into that game. A mass of 60,000 people showed up to Hard Rock Stadium. We moved La Bombonera from Buenos Aires to Miami just to watch the biggest club in the continent. But that being said, the first half Bayern Munich absolutely dominated. An Olympic goal by Olise was disallowed after a foul on Marchesín, but still it didn't take long for Bayern to open the score, as a bad clearance from Advíncula found the feet of Harry Kane to make it 1-0 to Bayern. After that, the Germans had chance after chance to double their lead, but for some reason they weren't able to find the target. This kept Boca alive going into the second half, where the unthinkable happened.
He's in around top. First time. Oh, he's got around Stanisic too. What a goal!
This was it. This was the moment we were waiting to see from Boca at the Club World Cup. Going up against one of the best teams in the planet and performing. We had our one chance and we took it. It was all about holding on for the final few minutes now. Boca needed to relax and... Wait, why is that music playing again?
It's a really smart turn. Kane tries to help it on. That's the moment they wanted.
We just can't get it together, man. We just cannot get it together. This is what I've been telling people. When things seem to be going right for Boca, it's exactly the moment we press the self-destruct button. Every single time consistently we're getting a result we need in an important game and something goes horribly wrong. But not all hope was lost, because in the final match day, Boca had to play the amateur team from New Zealand, Auckland City. And as long as Bayern beat Benfica and we scored enough goals, we could still make it to the round of 16. So you can imagine my dismay when the lineups are released and Bayern Munich are rocking up with this. It was to be expected then that Benfica would dominate that game and they would take the lead through Schelderup. Boca had managed to score a goal thanks to a header by Di Lolo, which ended up as an own goal by goalkeeper Garro. And we had hit the post a couple of times. We were really close to getting the result we needed, but the other result wasn't going our way. Why are you playing the clown music? Come on, man, we're playing against Auckland City. Why are you playing the clown music? I kid you not, from a set piece Boca conceded to Auckland City. We conceded to a guy called Christian Grey who works as a high school teacher. A high school teacher! It didn't help that the game in Nashville had to be stopped because of the weather, and this meant that by the time it resumed, we already knew that Benfica had beaten Bayern and that we were already eliminated no matter what we did. But still, with 35 minutes to go, Boca should be able to win this game to at least end the tournament on a high note and also earn the extra $1 million that you get for winning a game. You understand, Auckland City had conceded 16 goals prior to this game and they had scored none. And you go ahead and drop points to an amateur team. Because may I remind you that most players for Auckland City don't even get paid for playing football. Very few of them actually have professional contracts, and even then they are not allowed to earn more than $400 a month. All of them have other jobs to attend back home and they had to take vacation leave just to come to this tournament. Let me go through some of the jobs that these guys actually have back home. A barber, an insurance broker, high school teacher, PE teacher. One of these guys sells Coca-Cola. Their coach is a dentist. A fucking dentist! What were the tactics for this game? We had no tactics. In this game, Boca put up 82 crosses. 82 crosses across 90 minutes. And you could only score one goal. I hope that at least the players took accountability for what they did.
Lo que pasa que es difícil a veces enfrentar un equipo que se mete todo en el área. Cavani, Edinson, come here, real close for a minute. Cavani, you make more money than their combined squad for playing football. Like, these guys don't even play football as their main job. You make more money for playing football than they do for working 9 to 5. And you couldn't beat them. You couldn't score a single goal past them. After the Bayern game, I could at least say that I was satisfied with Boca Juniors' performance. Yes, the results didn't go our way, but we at least put up a good fight against strong European teams. Is that disappointing? It is, especially considering that Botafogo could beat the likes of PSG and Flamengo could beat Chelsea and we couldn't even beat Benfica. But like, at least we did something, which is more than I was expecting, considering the form that we were coming into. It was clear that we were the worst side coming from CONMEBOL. In fact, we were the only team that was not top of the group coming into this match day. But like, to drop points to Auckland City, This is up there with Alianza Lima. I think it's on the same level. I don't care that we were already eliminated going into a second half. You need to go out and beat that team because of the jersey that you're representing. Because of all the fans that barely have enough money to get by every month. And they still went there to Miami and to Nashville to support you. Then you have players like Marcos Rojo come out and say that they don't feel like they owe anything to the fans. You owe your life to the fans. You owe your life, that's why you have a job. You couldn't even make it into the group stages of the Copa Libertadores. You couldn't even make it to the final of the championship. You couldn't even beat River Plate. You couldn't even beat Auckland City. Of course you're in debt with the fans. This is the end of the road for a lot of players. Like many of these should have left the club long time ago, but this is the end. Marcos Rojo out of my club. Sergio Romero out of my club. Edinson Cavani out of my club. Frank Fabra out of my club, Lucas Hanson out of my club, Javi Garcia out of my club. And even for the players that will stay, there are many of you that need a wake-up call. Carlos Palacios, how about you stop putting up your sleeves like that, stop going to nightclubs and actually begin going to play football. Start to train properly and actually show that you care for any of these. Kevin Zenon, I don't know what happened to you after the Olympics. You are one of our most talented players. You need to get your shit together. Ezequiel Ceballos, an FM prodigy, one of our best talents coming from the academy. How about you stop doing 34 stepovers every time you try to dribble past someone and actually start trying for once? Milton Jimenez, I know that you are a bum, but even then we took you out of the streets to play for the best jersey in the continent and you cannot even run after the ball. There are very few players that can actually be proud of their performance at this tournament. Lautaro Blanco, Rodrigo Bataglia, Ayrton Costa was an amazingly good center back, and obviously Miguel Merentiel, who was our hero throughout this entire thing. Besides them, everyone needs to take a good look at themselves and wonder if they deserve to be wearing this jersey. And please, for the love of God, learn how to defend some set pieces. I've been saying it for years, we've been awful at defending set pieces for so long. It was one thing against Benfica and against Otamendi, one of the best headers in the game. But like against Auckland City, against a high school teacher. As soon as you land in Buenos Aires, everyone needs to go to the training ground and actually start defending some set pieces, please. There's still a big semester ahead of us. We need to beat the River Plate at home in the Super Clásico. We need to win the championship. We need to fight until the very end for the cup as well. And we need to qualify for next year's Copa Libertadores. It's inexcusable. If we don't make it into next year's Copa Libertadores, which would be the third time in a row that we miss on that competition, I need to see some heads roll in the directives as well. The board cannot go unharmed from this situation. Because at the end of the day, Riquelme and his board made out of his good friends are to blame for this. It's their players and it's their bad decisions that have led us to this point. So for the rest of the semester, no more excuses, results and performances. Anyway, I've been rambling for way too long. Sorry to all of the YouTube members for this video coming out like this. I really needed to get this out there to express my feelings. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Do not miss out on the next time that we're gonna be checking out Boca Juniors to see how we are actually doing this time. To see if there's actually any improvements or if we're still the same dumpster fire that we are right now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you all next time.